My dear friend, let me take you on a journey that began not with riches, not with privilege, but with a burning question in the mind of a young man who dared to dream. What if you discovered the key to wealth, success, and happiness lies not in circumstances, but in the power of your own thoughts? Pause for a moment. Doesn't that thought stir something inside you? I was born in a tiny log cabin in Wise County, Virginia. Poverty surrounded me, but within that poverty was a hidden seed of greatness. I did not know it then, but destiny had prepared a special path for me. Do you see how often the greatest achievements are born in the humblest of beginnings? Now, ask yourself, if a boy from the mountains of Virginia could rise to inspire millions, what excuse remains for you? As a restless and often troublesome child, I found direction through the gentle but firm guidance of my stepmother. She saw beyond the roughness, beyond the rebellion, into the possibility that lived within me, and she nurtured it with love. Have you ever stopped to realize how one person's belief in you can alter the entire course of your life? Think about it. Who in your life believes in you so much that they awaken your own belief? That belief carried me through school and into the world of journalism, where I stumbled upon the opportunity that would forever alter the course of my destiny. In 1908, while still a college student and working as a reporter, I was given an assignment that seemed ordinary at first: to interview Andrew Carnegie, the great steel magnate and philanthropist. But tell me, how often do the greatest turning points in life appear ordinary at first glance? I arrived at Carnegie's estate, nervous, unprepared for what was to come. Yet within those walls, during 3 days of conversation, my life was transformed. Carnegie spoke not only of wealth, but of philosophy, of principles, of the power of ideas to shape destiny. Can you imagine sitting across from a man who built an empire and hearing him say that the same opportunity exists for anyone willing to think and act with purpose? Wouldn't you lean in closer, desperate to absorb every word? Carnegie revealed to me the truth. All achievement, all earned riches, all progress begin first in the mind, in the form of an idea. That revelation pierced me like lightning. And then he did something extraordinary. He issued a challenge. He asked me to dedicate 20 years of my life to studying the secrets of success in America, to interview the most powerful and accomplished men of the era, to gather their principles, and to deliver them in a philosophy the world could follow. Now let me ask you, what would you have done if a titan of industry challenged you with such a task? Would you shrink back, or would you rise to the call? Without hesitation, I accepted. My yes that day has echoed across history, for from that challenge emerged a body of work that has transformed millions of lives. But let me pause here. What challenges has life placed before you that you have hesitated to accept? Carnegie promised me introductions, encouragement, and inspiration. But there was one condition. I must earn my own livelihood while pursuing this great mission. Imagine it. I was to interview men like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, John D. Rockefeller, Theodore Roosevelt, and Alexander Graham Bell, yet without any salary or promise of reward. Only the potential of truth and the hope that I could bring it to the world. Isn't it remarkable how life tests us by demanding sacrifice before granting reward? So I traveled, I interviewed, I listened, I filled notebook after notebook with the wisdom of giants. Each man revealed pieces of the great puzzle of achievement. Each story was like a torch, lighting my path. Have you ever noticed that when you pursue a burning purpose, the right doors open, the right people appear, the right opportunities arise? Could it be that your own purpose is waiting only for your decision to pursue it with unwavering faith? In time, these lessons became my first monumental work, The Law of Success, a series of 8 volumes published in 1928. It electrified the world. For the first time, ordinary men and women could study the tested principles of achievement, gathered from over 500 of the greatest leaders of our age. Now think about this. If secrets of success could be distilled from the most accomplished people, what could they do for you? The impact was immediate and powerful. Politicians, entrepreneurs, and dreamers devoured the volumes. I was invited to advise, Presidents Woodrow Wilson and Franklin D. Roosevelt, and my words found their way into decisions that shaped American history. Tell me, my friend, doesn't it stir your imagination to realize that ideas born in a poor boy's mind could influence the destiny of a nation? And yet, I had only begun. For in 1937, during the depth of the Great Depression, I released Think and Grow Rich. Within its pages lay the distilled essence of Carnegie's challenge, the secrets of Ford, Edison, Rockefeller, and more, combined with my own discoveries. Now let me ask you, what happens when millions of ordinary people suddenly believe that riches and success are not reserved for the privileged, but are the birthright of anyone who dares to think with faith and act with persistence? The answer is history. Over 10 million people read Think and Grow Rich in its first decades. Lives were transformed, dreams were awakened, fortunes were built. The philosophy spread like wildfire across the globe. But I must tell you, my journey was not about money alone. Wealth is but one form of riches. True riches lie in health, happiness, peace of mind, and the fulfillment of your God-given potential. And it was this conviction that led to another great work. In partnership with W. Clement Stone, a man of vision and energy, together we created Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. Now reflect on this. How much of your life's success or failure has been determined not by circumstances, but by the attitude of your own mind? A positive mental attitude, or PMA, is the key that unlocks the doors of abundance. It transforms defeat into opportunity, weakness into strength, despair into hope. With PMA, you become the master of your destiny. Without it, even the best opportunities crumble to dust. So let me challenge you. What attitude will you choose from this day forward? This, my friend, is only the beginning of our journey together. For in the pages ahead and in the lessons to come, I will show you not only why success begins in your thoughts, but precisely how you can control, direct, and use your own mind as the greatest machine ever created, designed by God Himself, more powerful than any computer ever built. And I ask you, are you ready to take the next step? Yes, my friend, you heard me correctly. Your brain is the most marvelous machine ever created by the hand of God Himself. It is the master key to all success, all happiness, all riches, and all greatness you could ever desire. Yet here is the tragedy. Most people go through life never learning how to use it properly. Now ask yourself, are you using your mind as a master, or is your mind using you as a slave? When I joined forces with W. Clement Stone, a man of boundless energy and vision, we knew we were embarking on something far greater than ourselves. Together, we gave birth to Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude, a book designed not merely to tell people what success is, but to show them how to create it step by step. Think of it. How often have you read advice that sounds good but leaves you wondering, yes, but how do I actually apply it? That is why PMA became the cornerstone of this philosophy. A positive mental attitude is not just a phrase. It is the golden talisman that separates winners from losers, the hopeful from the hopeless, the achievers from the defeated. Pause and consider. In your own life, how many times has a single change of attitude turned disaster into opportunity? When we shared this philosophy, people from every walk of life responded. A young waiter in Washington, serving tables with grace and charm, came to me one evening after I dined. His name was Jimmy. He pulled me aside and whispered, "Sir, your book Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude saved my life. Now reflect. What power must a single book hold to take a man from despair to hope, from aimlessness to purpose?" Another man, Ted, once told me on live television that my teachings had transformed his family, his finances, and his future. Within just 5 years, he went from struggling to prosperity, from worrying about his children's education to proudly sending them to college. He purchased a beautiful home and enjoyed vacations he once thought impossible. Let me ask you, if an ordinary man could achieve extraordinary results by applying PMA, what could you achieve if you made it the central force of your daily living? Even doctors began prescribing this philosophy. In Milwaukee, a physician told me he recommended Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude to patients suffering from psychosomatic illness. Imagine that! Not a pill, not a potion, but a book, a set of ideas. A change of attitude as medicine. Do you see what this means? Your health, your wealth, your relationships, your happiness, they are all linked to the way you think. But here is the truth you must never forget. Reading alone will not change you. Listening alone will not transform you. It is only when you apply what you learn, when you put principles into action, that miracles happen. So I must ask you, are you merely a collector of knowledge, or are you a doer, a creator, a transformer of your own destiny? The reason PMA is so powerful is because it equips you to master the inner world before you attempt to conquer the outer one. Consider this. How can a man hope to lead others if he cannot lead himself? How can a woman expect to command riches if she cannot command her own thoughts and emotions? Isn't it clear that all external achievement begins with internal mastery? The negative mind is like a prison, holding you captive in fear, doubt, and hesitation. But the positive mind is like a key, unlocking doors you never even knew existed. With PMA, you begin to see obstacles not as barriers but as stepping stones. You see problems not as defeats but as opportunities to grow stronger. Now think, what problem in your life right now could be transformed if you looked at it through the lens of a positive mental attitude? I will tell you this. The moment you change your attitude, you change your life. History is filled with men and women who proved this truth. Abraham Lincoln, born in poverty, educated himself by reading borrowed books. Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times, kept pressing forward with the unwavering belief that every failure brought him closer to success. Ask yourself, are you willing to persist with faith as they did, even when the world tells you to quit? The essence of this philosophy is simple, yet profound. What the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve, with positive mental attitude as the guiding star. Stop here for a second and repeat that truth to yourself. Doesn't it stir your spirit? But let us go deeper. PMA is not just about thinking positively in vague terms. It is about taking specific practical actions that align with success. It is about learning to control your habits, your moods, your emotions, and your tendencies so they serve you rather than enslave you. So tell me, are you controlling your habits or are your habits controlling you? Most people drift through life unconsciously. They are pushed by circumstances, carried by the winds of chance, and finally wonder why they never arrived at their chosen destination. But the man or woman with PMA does not drift. They set their sail with intention, they guide their ship with purpose, and they reach the harbor of their dreams. Do you see the difference? One is a victim of life. The other is a master of it. My friend, let me remind you again. The greatest machine you will ever command is your own mind. The nervous system, the subconscious, the imagination. All these forces are under your direction, if you will only learn to use them. The human brain has been the model for every computer ever built, yet no computer will ever match its power, because your mind holds the spark of divine creation itself. Now ask yourself, if God has given you such a magnificent machine, are you not obliged to use it fully? To honor the gift by creating the life you desire? This is the challenge I place before you in this journey. Do not simply nod in agreement. Do not say, "That sounds good." Instead, rise to the call. Decide here and now that you will no longer be a slave to negative thoughts, destructive habits, or limiting beliefs. Decide that you will live by positive mental attitude, and watch as your life transforms before your very eyes. And I ask you, are you ready to make that decision today? Yes, my friend, today is the day of decision. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. The door of destiny opens only for those who have the courage to knock today. And I ask you, are you knocking boldly, or are you waiting timidly on the sidelines of life? You see, the greatest secret of all achievement is that it is never the product of chance. It is always the result of a clear purpose, a burning desire, and the right mental attitude. When Andrew Carnegie challenged me to study the world's most successful men, he knew that the secret could be found not in luck, but in law. Success has laws as certain as gravity, and when you align with them, success becomes inevitable. So pause and ask yourself, are you living by law or by accident? The law of success that I uncovered through 20 years of study and a lifetime of experience rests upon unshakable truths. Truth number 1, thoughts are things. Whatever dominates your mind will eventually shape your reality. Truth number 2, you become what you think about most of the time. And truth number 3, every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Stop for a moment. Do these truths not stir something deep inside you? Look at history. Henry Ford transformed the world because he believed it could be done when all the experts insisted it could not. Thomas Edison lit the world because he refused to quit in the face of repeated failure. Alexander Graham Bell connected humanity because he held firmly to the vision of the telephone long before others could even imagine it. Now ask yourself, what vision are you holding that others cannot yet see? The purpose of Think and Grow Rich was never merely to help you acquire money, though it has done that for countless men and women. Its true mission was to awaken in you the recognition that the mind itself is the greatest form of wealth. When you master your thoughts, riches in every form, money, health, happiness, love, begin to flow into your life. Do you not see that riches are not first material but spiritual? Yes, money is essential, but money follows ideas, and ideas spring from a disciplined mind guided by positive mental attitude. If you cultivate the right mental soil, riches will grow like abundant crops after a fruitful rain. So I ask again, are you planting weeds of doubt, or are you planting seeds of greatness? When I wrote with W. Clement Stone, we knew the world was hungry for more than theories. People wanted action steps, practical guidance, and proof that these principles work. And we gave them not only stories of kings of industry, but also the testimonies of ordinary men and women whose lives were utterly transformed by this philosophy. Imagine yourself in their place, struggling, doubting, fearing, and then imagine the day when you discover that a single shift in attitude unlocks a torrent of opportunity. Can you not feel the power of that moment? But let me give you this warning. Knowledge without application is like a furnace without fire. It holds potential, but produces no heat, no power, no results. So reflect. Are you gathering wood but never striking the match? Life has no room for the drifter, the half-hearted, the indecisive. The world rewards the man or woman who knows what they want, believes they can have it, and moves toward it with unwavering persistence. Every time you act with courage, you place yourself in harmony with the laws of success. Every time you shrink back in fear, you break those laws and invite defeat. So let me ask, are you acting in faith, or are you retreating in fear? The secret of PMA is that it equips you to choose faith every time. It trains you to see possibilities where others see problems, to rise after every fall, to persist when the crowd has given up. It teaches you that failure is not the end, but merely the price you pay for progress. Isn't that the greatest encouragement? That every setback is simply a stepping stone to your ultimate victory? Yes, my friend, the journey is not always easy. You will face criticism, doubt, and resistance. You may stumble, you may fall, but with positive mental attitude, you will rise again, stronger and wiser, and each time you rise, you come closer to the destiny God has planted within you. So tell me, are you willing to rise one more time, no matter how many times you have fallen? Remember this. Within you lies a sleeping giant of power, creativity, and determination. Most people will go to their graves never awakening that giant. But you who are listening now, have the chance to awaken it, to release it, and to let it guide you to the life you desire. Will you dare to awaken the giant? Let us close with the truth that has guided my entire life's work. Success begins in the mind. Failure begins in the mind. Greatness begins in the mind. And your mind is entirely within your control. So decide now. Decide that you will think only thoughts of success, that you will cultivate only attitudes of faith, and that you will act with courage until your dreams are made real. For when you make that decision, the universe itself conspires in your favor. And I leave you with this final question. Are you ready? truly ready to think, to believe, and to achieve with the unstoppable force of a positive mental attitude? Because the moment you say yes, your new life begins.